Hi there, welcome to No Nonsense Whiskey. My name's Vin PF, and on today's episode we've got a special episode. It's a challenge episode. It's been something that I've been dying to do for so long, but until fairly recently I haven't had the headspace to do these kind of like challenge videos, these special episodes, these top fives, whatever. And really I want your feedback. Once you've watched this video, let me know in the comments below if you like this kind of content, if you want to see more of this from me, especially giving it the no nonsense vibes. I'm just going to be hitting it, one take, let's go. But this time round, we've got the top 5 summer whiskies challenge from Jeff Whisky. He challenged me to do this as well, amongst some other ones as well. But I will drop that video in the description below so you can see exactly what he picked. And I'm going to do my nominations at the end. And you'll see the categories down below. I'll do a bit of spiel about each one and why I picked it. So the first one then, we have the Light Sunshine Sipper. And I've decided to go for this little beaut, which is the Glasgow 1770 Triple Distilled. Now you might notice this is the full size bottle, this is the 700ml, and it's not their first release of this. I've reviewed it a couple of times now, and the first time, I say this every time I bring this one up, the first release I wasn't that keen on. It was my least favourite of the three, the original, the Triple Distilled and the Peated. The Peated obviously won my Whiskey of the Year, I think 2021, something like that. I should really keep a list of that handy so I remember on the videos, but you know, it's around that sort of thing. So, but then they re-released this, hopefully after checking some feedback out. I said there was far too much virgin oak influence on it and it was kind of taken away from the Dram a little bit more, but they've changed the formulation a little bit and they brought out this bad boy in a good size bottle, and it's incredible, especially for the value. It's like 49 quid, or was last time I looked. And yeah, for a casual sipper, a light sipper, this is pretty much perfect and fits the bill 100% for me. Boom, that's the first one ticked off. Second one then is the Cocktail Kin, and I've been a bit cheeky here because I'm going to pick my own whiskey. A lot of these, there's a couple here that you're not going to be able to get hold of now, unfortunately, but you've got to go with what's on your shelf, and this is what's on my shelf. Now, for me, the reason why I'm going to pick this is because, many reasons to be fair, but when I drink a cocktail, unpopular opinion, I don't really like a whiskey cocktail that much. But the one cocktail that really does hit home for me is the penicillin. I'll chuck up a recipe for that in the description below. But essentially, it's a peated whiskey, usually a Scotch in fairness, but in this case, it's a Mackmyra. And it needs to be peated, but without too much influence of everything else. Mixed in with some lemon juice and some blended Scotch as well. Again, I'll drop that in the description so you can see. But for me, this fits the bill perfectly because a lot of the peated that I have on the shelf right now has fancy influences, fancy cask finishes, and it's not really that great for cocktail making. But also, you need a good quality Scotch or whiskey for your cocktails. Don't just chuck in the rough stuff because it's a good wedge of your drink. So you need to make sure the quality's there. So for me, it's got to be a good quality one, and obviously I picked this with some help of some friends, so I know this is good quality. It's peat, it's light on the extra flavours, it's ex-bourbon cask. It's perfect for that penicillin vibes. So yeah, a bit cheeky to pick my own one, and a bit cheeky to pick one that you can't get hold of, but still, that's my choice. So, thirdly then, we have BBQ With Friends, and you're going to see a lot of independent bottling here because that's my bag, baby. That's my bag. Here we have the Smoke and Glory. This is the third release. This is 12 years old. Leche, aka Toby Mori Distillery. This one here, I mean, for me, if you don't know what I'm about in kinds of outside of context of YouTube, make sure you go and check me out on Instagram because I post some of my other stuff that goes on in my life there as well. And also join my Discord, which is in the description below. But I'm really into my backdoor grilling, not as much as some people are, but I really love my backdoor grilling. Specifically, I love my smoker. I've got a lovely, beautiful pellet grill smoker. Love that thing. And when I'm smoking on that, and when I'm cooking on my Kamado Joe Kettle Joe, whatever it's called, I love a good, strong peated whiskey. And where before I was saying about my Mackmyra is quite peaty, but it's light on extra flavours. This bad boy, although still ex-bourbon, I think, I lie. Sherry butt, I take a lie on that. It's bags of extra flavour. The Leche are known for the kind of like waxy, really earthy vibes to it, and I love that, and it's absolutely perfect for standing next to the barbecue when you've got smoke in your eyes, you're getting smoke in your mouth, while you're eating the burgers straight off the grill. Lovely. We enjoy this a lot, and this one actually still is in stock right now at the time of recording, so well worth checking out. 2 peated ones on a summer video. Madness, I know, but that's my bag. I'm into the peat. Okay, again, looking at the ones where we can't get hold of, but more independent bottles. This one here is the Special Party. Now, if you've got a special party, you've got people coming over, this is where you bring out your big guns, right? Now, I've got a couple of choices in that respect, but this one here, it has to be a grain. Hopefully you can see that label. This is the Master of Malt Girvan 31. Sadly sold out, but there are other versions of this out on Master of Malt, funnily enough. Obviously, links to these specific ones will be in the description below, but please do go and check out Master of Malt's independent range, because they've not just got this sort of stuff. This was their release number 5, which was awesome, but they've got so much stuff from all over the place that are well worth checking out. But for me, it's this 31-year-old Girvan. I absolutely love single grain whiskey, and I love showing it to people who think that they only drink single malts or bourbons or whatever. People that have narrowed themselves, they've pigeonholed themselves. My lot in life when they come over is to convince them that there's a wider world out there. And this is one of those ones where I can do it, because single grain, well-aged grain, 25 years plus, surprisingly affordable. You know, I'm not saying it's cheap. You know, we're talking 50 quid plus. This one was like 70 quid. So it's not cheap. It's not cheap, but for what you're getting, affordable, I think. There you go. That's my Special Party. Finally then, and somewhat accidentally, a second Mackmyra. This one here is the Cool Evening Dram. Sometimes, genuinely, and you can tell I've recorded this in one take now, but sometimes I forget that my release was a Mackmyra. So I've chucked in another Mackmyra because why wouldn't I? Love Mackmyra. It's not all about Scotch. Check these guys out. Now this one here, unfortunately, I think it's gone again. You can get it in some places. Don't pay over the odds for it, but this was my Whiskey of the Year for 2020, I think. And this is the Mackmyra Grand Té, and it's a crazy, crazy liquid when you look at it on paper, but it works. I can promise you it works. I tried this at a festival, and I've had 2 bottles of this, which is astounding for me. If you know me well, you know that I don't rebuy bottles, but mainly because of the channel, right? But this one I did. I had to have a second bottle of this, and this one's lasted me forever. But what they've done is they've essentially got, I mean, there's so much going on. You'd have to check out my original review of it to really get it. But they seasoned casks with a mixture of like 4 different proper green teas. And when I say proper green teas, I don't mean you've got your Twinings green tea, whatever tea bags. No. If you do proper green tea, it's proper buds, you know, that kind of expand out, but you do it at the right temperatures. They've basically made tea, rolled it around in the barrels for a bit, and then stuck this in it, it has to be tasted to be behold, is the only way I can describe it, but it really is incredible liquid. I know it wasn't everyone's cup of tea in fairness, but for me, absolute winner. Loved this stuff. There you go. That's my top 5 summer whiskies. Obviously, there's a lot to pick from. I want to know in the description below what your 5 would be in those different categories. Let's have a conversation about it. And of course, you can't do a challenge video without nominating other people. I don't think it was specifically about YouTube, but in any case, I'm going to nominate Rob Patchett from the Cotswolds Distillery, who does his excellent podcast, I Want to Like Whiskey, which is really aimed at new people trying to get into whiskey. However, as a long-standing fan of Cotswolds and a long-standing fan of whiskey, I'm getting a lot of enjoyment out of it because he's bringing guests on from all over the industry who bring their perspective to that I Want to Like Whiskey vibe. And secondly, I'm going to nominate Ken from Scotch Down Under, who is really well known for his streams. I'm not sure how he's going to do a little play on this, but I want to nominate him because he's literally down under in Australia. His seasons are inverse, so his summer is like over Christmas time. So I think it'd be really interesting to see what he pulls out of the bag for his top 5 summer whiskies. So there you go, they're my nominations. Links to those guys in the description below. Links to everything in the description below. But again, thank you for watching this. Let me know if you like this by hitting the like button and let me know in the comments below, and I'll see what I can do about pulling more top 5 whatever content out in the future. Catch you again on more videos. Cheers.